Well, good evening and thank you for joining us on Atlantic Television Network Press Roundtable. Press Roundtable is a convergence of media practitioners who dissect news and current affairs to provide the right balance. So today on Press Roundtable, we will be discussing, first of all, in Rivers State, police impound judicial arrest which doctor 25 suspects over car snatching. We're also going to look into the story of insecurity, unemployment, fueling, rising banditry, kidnappings in Nigeria or Basanjo. And in the case of drug trafficking, a Navy intercepts 193 bags of narcotics and arrest suspects. And in politics, we look at Abure re-elected as LP national chairman for the second time. So when we come back for the short break we want to embark upon right now, I'm going to introduce the guests we have for this evening. Good evening and stay with us. A very good evening once again and thank you for joining us on Press Roundtable. This evening I'm privileged to have a wonderful colleague. He is a journalist, he's a media practitioner, he is an editor, and I'm talking about no other person than Mr. Kingsley. All right, so my name is Angel Wokoma. I'm the uncle of this program. Now let's take first of all go to Rivers State. At the Rivers Police State Command has paraded a witch doctor and 25 other native doctor. Commissioner of Police Olatunji Disu while parading and while Kelechi is an expert in removing trackers and wonderful mechanic. The Rivers Police Chief stated that most of the cars stolen are taken to Kano, Anambra, where they pieces them and sold the scrap. The Rivers Board said 79 cars have been linked to the suspects. Imagine 79. He also revealed that most of the suspects met in correctional center on their modus operandi. CPDC said the suspect used master key to snatch vehicles and convert it to commercial vehicles and drive out of town with passengers to beat security check. Now, CPDC said the commander also arrested receivers of the vehicle who comes into town with the robbers and tell them the kind of cars to be stolen. He said their witch doctor has been arrested. He tells them when it's safe to go for operation. We also have team of robbers who follows you when you go to bank. When you resist them, they attack and fire you. The firearms has been recovered. Residents should put safety devices in their vehicles and be watchful. Now, CPDC added that 17 cars has been recovered so far, and some returned to owners. Exhibits recovered include English and local-made pieces, Juju Shrine 17 assorted cars. Well, this one is coming, the story is actually coming from River State, and we have seen what the security agencies have really done in apprehending these individuals, you know, the witch doctor, these people who specializes in this syndicate, who specializes in car snatching. When they snatch, they sell it to, they say their destination is Kano, Anambra, and other places. Now they've been apprehended, this witch doctor. You see, imagine how they work in synergy, how they work together to make sure that they have a smooth running. But they said one day is for the thief, you know, and all of the days is just for the thief, but one day is just for the owner. Because it's not everything that you're doing you get away with it. But today, the security agencies, the Commissioner of Police have really done wonderful works in apprehending these individuals. What can you say about this story now going on? This is happening today.
I think this is all about conspiracy.
Yes.
It's all about conspiracy. You see people in their hideouts. You see people who have lost their businesses. You see people who have exhausted their purse because of the trending hardship and difficulty, and resorting to something very different. I think I want to congratulate the River State Police Command. They're actually working. Recently in Duke, I think 2 people were murdered and intervened. About to go into criminality, we will know the consequences of what
meaning
it's all about, because they are going to be, this person is going to be fired, or these people are going to be fired for the fact that they snatched people's car, and not even that, they would also tell us how many people they have killed, because car snatching is all about risk. It's a very huge risk and a danger to society, because you are forcefully taking what belongs to another person. And in this cause of taking what belongs to another person forcefully, you can either kill or maim somebody. So they should also tell us how many people they have killed. It's not only surrendering the cars anyway, but they should confess properly. People are dangerous to our society.
Not even, yes, not just even taking phones.
Yes.
Did you remember that the story talks about them robbing banks?
Yes.
And then, now, why they work hand in hand with the witch doctor?
Yes.
The witch doctor will tell them when to go to operation and check with the voodoo powers,
yes,
Sangoma powers,
yes,
you know, to know when the operation will be very smooth for them to go.
Yes.
So anyone who you know stops them, they should fire them.
Yes.
You know, so they work together. Now, it was also discovered that 79 cars have been linked to their, or you know,
their activities.
Exactly, and I think they were able to recover some of them.
17.
And then even those people who were buying,
Yes.
because some of them will come to town and tell them, this is a particular car I need.
Exactly.
I need RX 350.
Exactly.
This is a particular car I need. I need Corolla. I need this, and then they will now go into action
And bring it.
and bring them.
So it's what I'm trying to.
So even the buyers, are you not talking about? Because I really want to talk
they,
about the buyers.
yes.
Because you know, some people will say that, yeah, because I bought it, I don't know, and that they are not corporate.
Of course.
You know that you buying a stolen car, a stolen vehicle, in fact, a stolen item. That it doesn't mean anything.
No, it means means I think a business law. Mm-hmm. If you look at the aspect of business law, you will not say you are not properly aware, because you need to get a certified receipt, all right? Because it's a property that you own. There should be a traceable office, a traceable document, and a traceable place where you actually authentically bought this thing to own it. I hope that is clear. It is not only looking at cars that
tomorrow to start buying stolen vehicles or stolen items should also be aware that once they apprehend those people who stole the items, the
They will be
vehicles,
suspect.
they are also culpable.
Yes, they are
Because
suspects.
once, yeah, they are also suspects. Once they are apprehended, they will face the full wrath of the law. So what do you have to tell? What do you have to say in that regard?
Yes, that was what I was saying from the beginning. I said
Okay.
it's all about conspiracy, all right? If the law finds that you conspired in making the deal, in participating in robbery, criminality, of course, you are not ignorant of the law. You'll be charged by the law, and you will go for the offense. That's it. You should be punished for that offense. I think that's what government should do. All the people, all the suspects that have been able to apprehend, they should be well properly punished for robbing and forcefully taking people's property and putting them in distress and in pain. Of course, even some incidentally lost their lives. So they should be fired with the wrath of the law, so that other criminals will know the consequences involved and will take a break. I think that's what should be done.
All right. Okay. Well, that's okay. We also want the government to make sure that they do justice to this particular issues. You know, this is not really okay, because once I remember when I ran into this. I was coming back.
Yes.
That day I did morning shows on TV.
Yes.
Yes, I did early morning. So when I was driving home and I saw those people, they were racing after me. And I was going to my village. I was going to, yes, that early morning. That was, normal morning shows on Stars then from in my former company from 4 a.m., and then you just finish. So I finished the news in the morning and I was racing. So these people were racing after me. I was driving like her. So it was a woman also. So, so you just feel like that's life and death. Okay, that's life and death. So it's only when you have not, experienced such a thing, you wouldn't know the pain. My grandfather's car was somehow stolen before, and they said it was a reverend father. But it wasn't a reverend father, because they used the clothes of a reverend father to steal my grandfather's vehicle. My granddaddy. But you know one thing, I love that the vigilante people were alerted and they apprehended those guys who came to snatch my car.
Yes.
And they face the full wrath of the law.
Sure.
Well, everyone has to be vigilant. Security is a collective responsibility. What you don't understand, make sure that you're vigilant, because the economy is really very bad and it's pushing a lot of people into committing these crimes. Now, we have taken that story already in River State, and we want to commend the CP and then the security agencies, the police in particular, for really working so hard in fishing out these criminals in the society. Now, let's just look at another story. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo, he said unemployment is fueling the rising spate of banditry and kidnappings in Nigeria. Obasanjo said that these are the 9th International Trade Exhibition and Conference on Agro-Food Plastics Printing and Packaging in Lagos on Tuesday. He said, of course, if we are able to achieve this, it will improve our security. Parts of our insecurity are men and women that are not properly engaged. If we are able to give them employment, there will be less of them getting involved in banditry, in kidnapping, and doing various other criminal activities that they get involved in, he added. The former president, as you can see him here, he would describe himself as a madman for agriculture, said there was need to promote agribusiness for food security, nutrition, security, employment, wealth creation, poverty elimination, and income generation, particularly foreign exchange. He noted that the drive toward food security in the country must encapsulate food availability, affordability, and accessibility. Obasanjo said, a friend of mine said to me, you must be a madman. I asked him what he meant, and he said, if I was not a madman, I would not have gone into agriculture. So I am a madman for agriculture. When it has to do with agriculture, you can be sure that when you call me, I will answer. Food security starts with availability. We must be able to produce enough. Then there is affordability. We must be able to get everybody who needs food to be able to get the food that they need. Then there is accessibility. We must get food where it is needed. And he added, almost 40% of our food go to waste after cultivation. So food security and nutrition security makes agribusiness important. Obasanjo noted that one of the most potent means of curbing youth immigration, unemployment, and insecurity is to get more young people to embrace agriculture. He lamented that Nigerian youths often prefer to explore opportunities in the entertainment industry, which underscores the need to make agriculture more glamorous. The former president also called on policymakers at all levels to ensure policy consistency that would allow farmers to set short and long-term targets without worrying about possible policy somersaults which may topple their plans. Obasanjo said a key part of this involves making single-digit loans available to farmers, as no agribusiness can produce profitably with double-digit loans, he said. He said first is employment with our teeming population and the problem we have with our youths going over the desert and risking their lives at the Mediterranean. We stop. He said, what can we do to give them enough employment at home? Now, this is Obasanjo, the former president of Nigeria. He has really spoken, and as a matter of fact, he's actually saying that the Nigerians should really do more in agribusiness, in agriculture, describing himself as a madman because he loves agriculture. He said, once Nigerians begin to appreciate agribusiness, because this has to do with food production. He said it's because of this that we are having a rise increase in banditry, in kidnapping, so it could be reduced to the barest minimum. That's what he's saying. So I agree with him. Or do you disagree with him, or you have another thing to say?
No, I think I embrace the passion of ex-president Obasanjo. I actually embrace his passion. I embrace his passion in the sense that he is a national leader. And as a national leader, as an ex-president, he is sending a message. The message is very clear to our leaders. This message is specifically for our leaders. And I'm talking about the presidency, the National Assembly, and the state governors. They would have heard exactly what he's saying. What he's saying is all about sustainability, passion for agriculture. They should have the same passion for agriculture, because the passion that he's talking about is that we should take it as a very strong responsibility. Before it wasn't a responsibility. Now it has even become a more concrete occupation that we should all look at. At your backyard, in your village. Try as much as you can to raise farms. If people begin to raise farms, food security will be guaranteed. He's saying a word that our leaders should work with. At this time, it's not the time when they should be talking about bills or talking about lawmaking that will not profit the people. They should talk about how the people they are governing should eat. Food should be on the table. And as he said, one, it should be available. The food should be orientation. The people should be giving proper orientation that we are agriculture, we have an agriculture or agricultural economy before now. Since we have an agric economy, let's go back to the basis and see how we integrate it in all strata of government and see how it will impact on our people. So that since we cannot build refineries now, let us look on the side of food, because it could be that one that will be available, because mere putting a seed or a root or maybe a stem in the soil, it grows up. And it's a blessing. So we should take advantage of this exploit.
Then what about when you have this agriculture like he did, it also going to, like he said, creating employment opportunities for
Yes.
people. Because once you establish a farm, let me just say you have a plantation farm, you just have a farm, you
Yes.
know, but either you are cultivating cassava or
Exactly.
yam or whatnot, whatever you
Crops.
think, crops, you know.
Yes.
You engage other people and they will now be employed. They will be gainfully
Employed.
employed.
That is what I said, because now that's why I said all aspects of government must be involved. If a local government chairman right now has 10 hectares of land to start planting, I mean, in each of the 23 local governments, either in fish farming or in farming, so that we see where we can produce. That's the availability he's talking about. Then the affordability is that maybe if there is enough, I think the, the cost price will reduce
Exactly.
because there is plenty. And so that's what we're saying. That is the way.
And accessibility also, taking it to where people
Will buy it.
will buy it, where it is needed
market.
in the market,
The market.
so that it will get to the poor man, it will get
Yes.
to everyone.
Yes, the market.
The Nigerian economy is really harsh, it's really bad
Getting worse.
every single
Getting
day.
worse.
And you know, this man Obasanjo has been a very intelligent man.
Yes, he's an
You know,
intelligent man.
when it comes to economy, you know, managing resources and economy. So we can also borrow a leaf from his words, what he's saying.
course.
I think once we apply, you know, and implement all this whole thing, I think it's going to go a long way
Of course.
in solving the problems of Nigeria.
It's a serious matter.
It's a serious,
Very serious
matter. Yes.
Look at
Everyone should appreciate agriculture
Of
now.
course, and the blame is not going to the society. It's going to the leaders. What are you doing? What have you done? How do you want to approach it? How do you want to handle it? So the word and the message is very clear for our leaders to sit down and start their planning straight ahead. They need not to wait for anything, because the crime and the banditry is coming gradually. Because if people are hungry, before you know, they will get into revolution. So the government should work assiduously. If it will mean importing food at this time, at this time when plans have not been put in place, they should start doing that, and make sure that there is surplus food that people can buy with money. Our passenger has sent the message that the availability of the food, the affordability of the food, and accessibility of the food is the mechanism that government can use to ensure that the citizens and their well-being is well taken care of. Their well-being is well taken care of. And that is the purpose of government, their welfare.
All right, glad to have you back. on Atlantic Television Network. The program is the Press Roundtable, and I have Mr. Kingsley George Papamia here with me. Now, we've really looked at other stories of what Obasanjo said. We've looked at the stories coming from River State, how they were able to apprehend the people, the syndicate who were stolen vehicles, and what Obasanjo said, encouraging people. Now, we want to move into another story. Nigerian Navy ship MNS B Croft patrol team has intercepted a large wooden boat carrying 193 bags of cannabis sativa, weighing approximately 7,443 kilograms, and arrested the suspects Asamani Emmanuel. According to a statement made available by Base Information Officer of NNSB Croft, Hosani Ibrahim, the contraband and suspect, were seized along Badagry waterways on Saturday during a routine patrol of the Navy ship. Baycroft patrol team said the operation was made possible through the effective utilization of Nigerian Navy maritime domain awareness facilities, including Falcon Eye alignment and the Regional Maritime Awareness Capability Center, along with human intelligence. The commander of NNSB Croft, Commodore Rafiu Oladejo, highlighted that the interception aligns with the strategic directive of Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, to maintain a credible presence along Lagos waterways and adjacent creeks, aiming to eradicate maritime crimes. He issued a stern warning to perpetrators of the illicit drug trafficking, emphasizing NNSB Croft's relentlessness pursuit of criminal element within his operational jurisdiction. The capture of such a substantial quantity of narcotics underscores NNSB Croft's commitment to combating the proliferation and usage of illicit drugs, particularly among Nigerian youth, safeguarding public health and national security. Following the operation, the confiscated narcotics and the suspect Emmanuel were handed over to officials from the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDALA, a Marine Commander, on Tuesday for further investigation and potential prosecution. Now, as you can see, they are really working. But the NDLEA, they are actually working, intercepting 193 bags of narcotics, and they arrested the suspects. Now, this is really it's quite commendable. Because once we are telling you the stories of what is happening, we're also telling you the proactive measures that the security agencies are putting in place to make sure that they arrest these people, and so that they will be thoroughly investigated and the justice will be brought upon them. Now, this is a story about narcotics. It's about drug trafficking. It's about drug trafficking.
Yeah.
It's about narcotics, maritime. This is a crime that happened in the maritimes area, you know. Now they were able to apprehend these people, 193. I think it's quite enormous. 193 bags of narcotics. Now we talk about drugs. Our youths, they get addicted. They smoke all sorts of loud. In local parlance we call it impurumini. You know, they smoke all sorts of weed, marijuana, and abusing them. State of economy, most of them say because they don't have money, so they have to take drugs, they have to take. So what can you say about the Navy intercepting these 193 bags? That means they are actually working as the security agencies as well, working to making sure that Nigeria is in a better place.
Yes, I think it's a wonderful achievement. It's a very, very wonderful achievement. And I want to see where our leaders honor these officers who take the risk and also had the boldness and also stand by the whims and caprices of the law. So I want to say that our government should fashion out the means of recognizing our security operatives who are honest at this point that they could take such a decision. It's actually commendable, and government should know how to fashion out ways to reward them. Because if you ask me, I'll personally tell you that the soldiers who lost their lives in Delta State, they were given what? National honor. All right? When they had died. But it's not supposed to be so. Well, if the dead is being honored, what about those that are alive? That are giving good credibility to the nation's image? We need government to commend them and also appreciate them and reward them and encourage them to do more. Because if our society is not sanitized, we're in danger. 193 bags of narcotics is a huge achievement for the Navy. I must have to say it. It's a very, very...
All those people they're apprehending,
yes,
they've intercepted this is quite enormous.
Yes.
193 bags of narcotics. Now, the question now is, do they really face the full wrath of the law, or did they give them some money for them to escape? Some of them will be bragging. Once I get there, I will see. He's a guy I think I met. He's a commuter. You know, he was like, "What are you going to do to me?" You know, not me anyway. He was having a problem with another passenger. He said, "No, I've been there, and this is what I do." You know, we're like bragging about it. Going there and coming out is nothing. It's just normal. There and give them some money, and they will let them loose, so that this story will also repeat itself.
I think if you look at the trend of such people who fail to take corrections, I think those ones they are hardened criminals. They are hardened criminals that have decided not to change their minds. Otherwise, the rudeness and the stress and the distress as well, and for one to be in such a situation, would make you to change your emotions in the next couple of days or in the next couple of weeks, because you begin to realize the difference of you having the freedom and the freedom being taken away from
the story that have been really trending, and that's Abure. So the convention's venue was notably shifted from Abia to Anambra, underscoring a period of intense preparation and strategic planning leading up to the election. Abure's re-election comes amidst a backdrop of considerable internal discord within the Labour Party, particularly with the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC. Now, prior to the convention, there was a palpable tension highlighted by calls from the NLC for Abure's resignation. The NLC, led by Joe Ajero, had been vocal in its criticism, advocating for the establishment of a caretaker transition committee tasked with organizing a legitimate and all-inclusive national convention. Now, I don't know if you really followed the story.
Yes.
Okay, now, the question is now, you remember that's Abure, some time ago in Owerri. There was this case, it's a court case in Owerri, I know, where they dissolved him. They gave him a suspension as the Labour chairman, and later saw Apapa Lamido as the national chairman while he was being suspended. Now, later on, we are now hearing that Abure has been re-elected as the national chairman for the second term. Then the question now in my mind is, the investigation, was it really proper? Did they really carry a thorough investigation to see? Because it was, the NLC was, you know, there was tension where they caused that he should resign.
Because of the audit report. Yeah,
because of audit report. You know about the story. But now we are hearing today, the story is actually coming this evening, that he's been re-elected as LP national chairman, and that's Nigerian politics. So me, when I was actually, you know, looking at these stories and you know, going through these stories, I was like, did they really carry out the proper investigation into this? Is a Labour Party where everybody's looking out for, because I think I just want to hear your opinion. I just want to hear
Yes,
what you're saying about it. What do you want to say?
yes. I think everything about Labour Party can be the role that the union should play and the role that a political party should play. Fine. Now you see, when you are not in the game, you cannot compare yourself to be in the game. Politics is a game, all right? And the game, the leadership, I think with what we are seeing, is a good development. But if we want to actually examine the process and procedures of elect this point, and this is where I want to take up from, and there should be either a caretaker committee, just like the way let's say saying, that will be in charge of affairs until other things will roll in. But we are seeing a situation where somebody has been able to maneuver his way, looking taking authority where he says where they say there's no authority, he has exercised authority, and created an enabling environment for everybody to come and participate. And at the end of the day, participated and won the election. So I think he did not vote himself into power. People were there who said, this is the man that we still want. So for me, I don't know the procedure of the party. I don't have the constitution with me. So I will not decide, but I'll just say in my own opinion, that it's very clear that the members of the party still need Abure that position. He was elected, and therefore the party and the members should respect the election, and as well think of going forward rather than putting up issues that would tear them. So this is the time that they should start planning for the next election. They wouldn't, if they don't take the decision now, it will be very difficult. And for Abure, if is the issues that have been trending about his office, and sit up and make sure that this time around, if there are things that are not going well, they should properly done, because you should know that he has a very good presidential candidate, and the presidential candidate that he has, well, should not be mocked. Should not be mocked. It should be the integrity of the party should speak for itself, and let everyone that is involved in the formation of the party ensure that fairness leads. Fairness, because if you had fairness as the yardstick to ensure that the party succeed, and this time around, the second tenor of Abure, he should think more of bringing people together rather than causing and